something to be said about hard-nosed full contact. It's like that raw rap all the way back to boom bap. Spikes up, Ty Cobb inspired killing the corners. Heating up with recklessness, we still getting warmer. Nevertheless, nothing can test, we bring it best. Wile E. Coyote mixed with Roadrunner, full comers. Holding your title hostage, the kings we smoke others. You're either with us or against us, it doesn't matter which. Scouting your weakness, we bring the wrath when we hit. There's never been a squad as raw as trash can spit. You might get bashed with a stick while I'm pounding the fence. Look around, you're a fish while I'm rounding it quick. Take a look at the base and sprint off with a fist in your face. No remorse, no mercy, no force can hurt me. The scouts purposely bring the pain, come try to work me. But there's a crew of dirty cats.
Oh, how I love the sweet sounds of the BP mercenaries. We call them the Mercs. And you will get Mercs. Many a fine record to choose from. I mean, we got remixes. We got remixes on remixes. We got classic Blaze Rock stuff that Paco not through the Tumblr.
Through the Tumblr.
The Tumblr. I was trying to come up with something original, but I mean, like
a Tumblr. Clutch, I love it though. Tumblr was still
Clutch
awesome.
Too. Like whenever I put that damn song, I wish we could have got a picture of the Sheik putting somebody up in that bitch. Like it's the
yes,
Iron
sir.
Sheik theme song, man.
Yes, sir.
Those damn curl boots that I don't know how anybody never got cut the fuck up. I'm sure they did. I just never heard about it.
Legit.
But, dude, those boots are like, they're shit kickers. And then I'm trying to rip out a vital organ.
Yes.
And those were the
definitely.
latter. Hey, welcome. Good Guys Program, Season 3, Episode 2.
Back in effect.
Back. And it should be much better this episode. Mark has worked out his audio issues. And you know the funniest part?
Wait, you just went third person on us right there, bro. You just went third person and shit.
Mark,
now you know we ready. Now we ready, boy. Now we ready. We ready.
The Rock says.
Right.
Yeah. So I went to school for audio engineering. I have no fucking excuse past one show. So anyway, moving on. The new lighter. I don't even want to say lighter. That's a horrible word. The whatever the fuck we want it to be, which is the same as before, just a little bit different. We're cutting the fat. All right. We're giving you the filet mignon instead of the cheap, prime rib at the $7.95 buffet there at the Dirt Casinos out in Vegas. All right. Not even Fremont Street. We're talking like off the strip kind of shit. And you guys know you all go there and you'll be going next week. All right. I'm not going to say sanction. You were talking shit. No, I was talking shit about a buffet. But I'll get the messages. I'll get the emails. I got them last week. Again, I laugh because just as an example of what we deal with. Not Los because he don't give a shit. But I actually read these things. I got one message that two people that I respect and will listen to, by the way, not just passing. Like I listen to what they have to say. One who thought the exact opposite of another. One was, well, maybe this, that, the other. And one goes, don't change your fucking thing. All right. Two people I highly respect, highly intelligent people. This is what we deal with. The peanut butter and jelly of this shit. Moving on. Let's get right into it. Kind of working out the kinks last week. Everybody's asking, and I got a couple messages asking, hey, when are you going to do the bump list? Well, guess what? Right now, we're going to talk about the bump list. These are obviously U-Trip bumps with U-Trip Worlds being back in October. And we never talked about it. So I guess this is my last bastion of association with some of this shit. Is that the best way to say it? Kind of, I don't know. I was there for a couple months early in the year.
That works.
So the official bump list, 480, JD Tools, Old Spice, Sandbaggers DTS, and Toto Madre all got bumped up to major. No real arguments here. I mean, there's nothing there that sticks out. The thing that sticks out is who's not there. And if you had asked me without just, who do you think is going to get bumped, I would have said one more team to this list.
Me too.
And I'm
sure we're thinking the exact same team.
Oh, I guarantee it because you add that team into this list, and that was the literal separation in the AAA division all year and the year before too. Let's be honest.
Agreed.
So I don't know if it's a matter of results. They had an up and down year. I mean, as far as results go, I'm not sure that JD ever won a tournament, but I know they finished second. I think they finished third or second at nationals, so that might have been a thing. I mean, they're always in the top 4, so I see it, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But again, if that's the criteria, then let me ask the $1 million question. And I'm sorry, Mike, but where the fuck is Sonoran Papers?
Yeah, it's pretty much. That's pretty much where I was going to go with it too. Is I think, and this is no slight against Sonoran Papers. If anything, it's a celebration of what they've done and what they've been doing, and they've been doing it consistently. But you know, one of my biggest complaints, and has always been my complaint, and even when you were director, you and I had these back and forth conversations about it. I'd really like to see a little more candid or a little more subjective rule play in terms of bumps. Like, you know, is there a certain number of tournaments of which you have to meet a certain number of like top 10s or top 5s, or, you know, is there a certain point number? And this isn't like, and I don't mean it to come across like an assault on the decision, because I know some people are short-minded and will think that, because that's not what I'm going for. Like I said at the start, I agree with everyone who got bumped. I think each of those teams are great teams that will immediately compete in major. And I think they're all great teams, bunch of great guys on each of those teams. There's nobody that, you know, I looked in there and said, oh, these fucking assholes or something like that. However, I still would like to see I'd like to see something a little more standardized for bumps, because then there's less discussion. There's more expectation. And then, you know, there's less people trying to screw the system and things like that. You know, they'll just kind of fall into it. But hopefully we continue down this road where we're doing, you know, a good job of moving the right teams up. I don't think anybody should have much of a disagreement with the teams that got bumped. They should have been. And if you want to get technical, a lot of the teams that got bumped were the teams that all throughout the year, everyone was whispering, psh, 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 they should get bumped. They should be major.
Yeah, that non-factor for me. And I agree.
And that's what people were doing. But, you know, once it happens, then everybody goes, what? But those are the same people in the tournament. At the tournament, they're like, yeah, they need to be major. Then right now, they're like, can you believe it? Like, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's every post. All right.
Yes.
So every time a AAA team posts they won something, somebody's got to be the comedian. First 3 responses. Oh, here comes a bump. Just happened. Shout out Sophisticated winning Winter Worlds AAA. First, I think it was the first comment.
Man,
here comes a bump.
Man, that Winter World shit was weird.
I mean, I don't want to get into it because it's just.
I don't want to get into it because I don't deserve it, but.
Well, that too. Weird. I mean, it's, you know, hold on. Let me find my pencil so I can update the fucking standings.
Hey, somebody
probably got to be.
Somebody scratch that shit off with an eraser, right?
But did you see? So obviously the guys in Arizona having fun with it, but everybody usually takes a picture, right? Tries to update everybody else. I'll give guys credit, like Vince playing 50s with, I think, 50s Bandits now, you know, formerly S-Bob Voodoo.
Right.
Vince does a really good job of updating where they're at in the tournament. He also tried to get pictures of the 40s, but like, and then Mickey was kind of shitting all over it, just like, people are traveling for this. I mean, he wasn't wrong.
He's right.
I just like, I don't get, like, it to the point now, it's almost like we're being trolled. Like, they're doing it on purpose to fight technology, I don't know. And then the times got fucked up with the rain. So, like, there was no way to, like, let teams know what times were switched to. And they literally were just like, this was the time. It was your responsibility to fight. So it got really convoluted over the weekend. Yeah. And that's when it just, you know, like, we can make jokes about the pencil and the writing it in. And by the way, what director was ever doing them out for the 50s, bro, I know my handwriting's fucked up, but like, don't write on the fucking brackets if you can't write smaller than your middle finger, dude. Like,
that was some handy-capable writing. That was some handy-capable writing on there. I don't know.
Like, bro, I know at least 7 people who were there playing on 50s teams whose kids aging range from 3 to 10. Just give them $5, bro.
Yeah, let them write.
All trying to read it.
Let them write it for you.
So you're telling me senior softball's so behind they can't afford whiteout? Because the point I was getting to is Vince, when he posted, as he posted the progress, you saw scratch outs and times and a score and then like a mathematical equation next to a score and then another score, and like
Yeah,
I
think
stopped
that's
trying
crazy.
to follow it. Like, okay, they'll post 2-1. Whoever won will be sure to post in one of the threads. I'll find it. But
Yeah.
I'm not even making fun of it. Like, I'm literally perplexed. Like, why you continue to do this. Now, look, turnout
making
was
fun of it.
horrible.
Yeah, that's where I was going with it. It's like
Turnout.
the turnout matched up with, to me at least, the turnout matched up with the level of interest that they seem to have in it. I'm sorry, that's unacceptable. The way, it's 2023. There's no way that we should be still doing this. I can see that being, a part of it, meaning you still want to write them down and be able to kind of have them around or whatever, kind of like UTrip does. UTrip prints it, and then they do write it for the people at the tournament, but they're also updating it on the computer. And I don't know. I just don't feel like there's any excuse whatsoever.
Right.
There's none. Like you could pay a guy on Fiverr $25 to set you up a bracket system.
Really?
And I mean, there's really no excuse, especially for a sanction that continues to charge the fuck shit out of everyone who's playing. There's no reason you can't allocate, 0.5% of the revenue to upgrading infrastructure. It just seems like you don't give a shit.
This day and age, I don't know. But then you said, go on Fiverr, which I agree with, but then that would require you to know how to navigate the internet. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure they understand Google, a web address, HTTP, email. They're probably still trying to check their AOL email and not working.
I was going to say, they're probably checking AOL right now. And they're like, God damn it. I'm sick of people saying those things. Why is this thing making those noises?
Let me get on AOL Instant Messenger and find out what's going on.
Man,
so let's cut them some slack with their 14.4 modems and their Prodigy accounts. Let's cut them some slack. All right. So anyway, I don't.
Painful.
So much of trying to do a tighter show. You get into that black hole of, my God. Anyway. So, Winter Worlds happen. We'll leave it at that. So these are obviously the UTrip bumps. The other one that's on the fence came on late in the year, so I'm not, Hits seems to have rebuilt, and they won a couple late, so they could be an early contender going into the new year. Sophisticated now, you got to watch out for them. Now granted, and you can all get mad at me. I really don't give a shit. I'm keeping it real. The teams and the amount of teams in the list at Winter Worlds, I take the results just with a grain of salt. Not taking any away from the teams that won.
Yeah,
just
because you still
grain
got
of
to win.
salt when it comes to bumps.
Yeah, because that's a small sample size. That meant that a lot of the teams that are, that you would consider the contenders and the higher tier teams or whatever, that meant they weren't there. I was talking to the homie Don, and he was saying how there was only like 12 teams, 13. There was like 13 teams or something total. And, for a Winter Worlds, that's tiny. And I don't, none of us really know why that's happening. Could be that it's like 5 minutes from Thanksgiving. Could be a ton of different things or whatever. But I do think it does affect how you look at, a winner of a tournament, because you start to wonder, well, who'd you play? Right. And I think that's a reasonable expectation. I don't think it's hating. I don't think it's anything shady like some people might say. You never want to take away from the fact that someone won, because at the end of the day, you still have to go out there and catch the ball, throw the ball, hit the ball. But, it does help to know that, there weren't as many teams, or there weren't as many of the higher tier teams or anything like that. But, you play against who shows up. You don't play against who you think you should play against.
Yeah, I mean, you got to judge it. Look, keeping it real, you got to judge against who you played. That's why no matter how shitty SSUSA runs their Vegas, that's the measuring stick, right? When someone wins that, it's often given an automatic level of respect, where when we talk about a UTrip Worlds or an NCS Worlds, people look at team lists. Some people just have a preset bias. There's some factor in there before you're given that auto respect you would get in relation to the SSUSA Worlds. But again, That's changing. That is changing. And people are finally, they're still going to Vegas, but they're admitting the reasons. They're finally
they're going to chill. Yeah,
we're going to party, man.
Fuck yeah. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of time, that's how I just go to Vegas, just because me and the wife like to go out there and hang out and eat. I don't really give a fuck about the tournaments most of the time. I mean, let me say it different. I do give a fuck, but I don't want to say like, oh my God, this is the culmination of all my efforts. It's not. It's like, all right, let's just go out here and play some,
Well,
have a good time, and keep it pushing.
That's one tournament down. Now we got to start working on the one that's happening next week. People, just be honest with yourselves.
What the fuck is that? Oh, that tournament. Duh.
Just be honest why you're going.
Yeah, bro.
Well, I mean, it got off on a real weird, shaky fucking footing. I'm not going to go into it. I touched on it a little bit last week. I still can't make sense of shit because the messages aren't clear. It's you get one from one region and another from another. Like you can't make tails. You can't make heads or tails of what what's going on and what we got from what you're told here to when you get out there. Is your room like fucking haunted over there? Like we got ghosts going on? What? Something's going on over there where the spirits are passing through the fucking room, and I hear their remnants.
So that's actually the soundtrack. The hearing part is Apex.
Is that our boy Post Malone's contribution there?
Well, no. So the light you may see flickering somewhat is I have this sound bar because on my setup I have a computer. I have my PC, my gaming computer here, and then I also have my PlayStation, and I have them connected to this little Bluetooth sound bar, and the sound bar has RGB lighting. So it pulses by the sound. So yeah, you'll probably see it looking kind of like a fucking disco in here. But yeah, exactly.
Sorry,
yeah.
My fake ass Jersey Shore.
Wow.
Anyway, okay, now I know what it is, so I can work around that.
Yeah.
So again, that we'll see, and the NCS bumps are a bit more unknown, murky. I don't know. Like some teams got bumped earlier in the year, and there wasn't a real proper explanation, and so the rumor is it's like top 15 or 20% get an auto bump. That happened last year. I think Team Money got caught up in that last year, and so I don't know. We'll survey the landscape after their worlds and try to make sense of it, but
I think that's the problem.
I can.
I think that's the problem is we shouldn't have to do that.
Right,
and it should be something. Yeah, it should be something that should be explained. Transparency is important, and unfortunately, it doesn't seem like people are aware of that. If nothing else, it's one of those moments where you do kind of respect the way that UTRIP does it, because at least they kind of said, okay, here's the bump list. Now rather than I think last year with some of or earlier in the year, whatever, some of those changes were just kind of rumored and some were done and some were not. And it was really weird and still weird. And it shouldn't be that way for an organization.
No. And look, I think it was pretty clear from when Bob came in how he's going to run it. And some guys hemmed and hawed, but everybody got in line because that was the best way to do it. And,
right.
I got caught. I'm guilty of trying to find the sweet spot when I didn't need to. Trying to take input in and finding some kind of factor that dealt with a recency bias versus results, and I just didn't. I never truly find it.
Right.
And I'm glad the way things turned out. Just for example, I know sandbaggers are trying to hang on just to take the shot at UTRIP Worlds, and they got the shot, so I was happy that happened. Obviously, not the result they wanted. It looked like it was a rough go for pretty much the whole contingent of Arizona teams that made it down to Texas, but they went. They took the shot, and that's all I'm going to focus on. Shit ton of teams going next weekend, so let's see how that pans out.
Of course, especially with it being that close. Mm-hmm.
Although, I'm sure we'll hear the usual, so we'll see. But second part of the show this evening, I'm going to pull out my Adam Schefter here, my Jay Glazer, and I don't know if anybody's heard it. I don't think it's been released. Granted, I'm not exactly tied in like I used to be, but I still know a couple people. And I got a copy of the preliminary AAA Challenge Cup roster, which makes me feel special. So I feel like we should highlight a couple guys. I'm not going to give away the whole thing. I got to save something. Look, we got to make you come back. I mean, I know how to do PR here, folks. But there's a couple names that I saw I was really happy about, and I kind of want to, from a personal level. So, yeah, it is personal bias. By the way, I'm on the fucking show. So there's your rant for the week for all you guys who want the drama. There it is. All right, still my show. Sorry, not sorry. So our boy Cooley's getting another shot. Matty Cooley's gonna go as he fucking should. I think, look, McGrew, say what you want to say. He's one of the smarter dudes out here. Kept sandbaggers together and built a team. Like I said, not the result they want to work. That was a team. A lot of guys are merc hunting, mercenaries. Best available player will, take the chance of screwing up a chemistry issue to grab a guy they think, is going to complete their team. That was never McGrew's intention. Took some lumps early on, putting sandbaggers together and got the right guys together. And yeah, they didn't have the result, but there was no griping. There's no finger pointing. Those guys all went out after the tournament, took the loss as a team, and went and had some fun and had a great trip. So that proves, the theory. You build a team, man. So I think McGrew's got this pretty much where he wants it. Hopefully we'll have him on down the road here before the tournament, which I think, end of February now? Who the fuck knows? Yeah, I used to work there. Sorry. Our boy Showtime Sal also getting going. Another person who should be.
Another person who should be, for sure.
I mean, he could get taken on hype man alone, but can play. Can get on base.
Solid, super solid.
We'll do what's needed in the moment. Smart player, so not trying to jack home runs when it's not going to happen in the humidity or weather down there. We'll find the hole. We'll get on base. We'll move runners, that kind of thing. And as we've learned in the two that have happened, you could take all the bomb hitters you want. At down there, your 350 here is a 290 fly out there. So not necessarily what you need to win down a Challenge Cup. So happy to see Sal going. Obviously, you need a good pitcher, and they're taking. They
got one,
and they got one. Taking my boy James Denny down, who would love it. That's the guy. It's him. It's him. He won't say that. I will. Happy about that. Again. And this is personal, with the shit show that went down last year, guys that are going again, getting an opportunity to do it better, do it right. One of my grave mistakes was not just going last year and just making sure shit ran smooth. And that's on me. That'll always be on me. So these guys getting a second shot under better circumstances makes me very happy. And to ensure the thing that I was just talking about, McGrew got himself a fine assistant coach in Timmy Myers, who I started playing senior with way back in the day. That was
solid dude.
Flockers.
Very solid dude.
Recently engaged, Timmy Myers. Congrats, you fucker. I'm glad you found somebody who put up with you. That's a great move by you. Very happy he's going.
Or by her. Is it by her or by him?
Listen, he's just he needs to count his lucky stars. He's fighting above it. He's out hitting. He's out hitting the coverage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. Hell yeah.
All right, he usually hits a 280 drive. He's hitting like 350, 360 here with the whip. He's doing a hell of a job. So good for him. He will help. He will definitely help keep things organized because obviously McGrew's going to be playing. So Timmy, he's coached girls fast pitch for a lot of years, did a lot of club teams, knows the in and outs of just running a team, and especially in the unique situation that Challenge Cup presents in that you don't have a lot of time to let things work themselves out. You got to make decisions and just go with them
quickly
and not look back.
Quickly, yeah.
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 If you ever find yourself in this situation, I don't know what videos you're watching. I'm just having fun listening.
That was really weird. I don't like these. Some of these dudes sound just weird.
Well, that sounded like I'm on YouTube with 100,000 subscribers, and
you gotta know. Sometimes it really looks like that.
I'm like, shut up, dude. Grow some nuts. Anyway, my bad.
Yeah, but Timmy, well deserved. Gonna get some at bats. Rumors he's gonna get a little bit of playing time, so I like that too because Timmy, Timmy's famous urban legend is fell asleep at a tournament in a very comfortable beach chair, was woken up because it was his turn in the order. Just kind of came to, got in the box, first pitch, put one out.
Yeah.
Turned around, didn't even touch first, turned around, went back to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Urban legend, it's true. I think Mickey was there. trying to think of the guys that were there. Ryan Hawkins might have been there for that one too.
Yeah, I know
forget.
Don was there. Don
Yeah,
was
Don-
there too.
Don
He
was there
told
too.
me. Yeah, he told me
Yeah.
about that shit. It was crazy.
So that's true. We have eyewitness accounts. So congrats to those guys. Maybe we'll reveal some more next week. Well, like I said, I want to get McGrew on the program to talk about the team once everything's a little more official and we're closer. Kind of get some insight into his thinking and the setup. Maybe I'll be lucky enough to get him to tell me who turned it down, if guys turned it down. You know, kind of try to get some inside info. But we'll see. Couple names there. A little selfish because the guys I really like and respect and are happy about. Excuse me. So, yeah, good on those boys. Always big fans of those guys. And, wow, imagine supporters of the program. Imagine that. Wow. All right. Wrapping it up here, our last topic. For you haters, sorry, we are going to talk UFC. You weren't getting out of it that easy. All right. The thing I want to talk about this week, so social media, Henry Cejudo, DC are going at each other because Cejudo came out, which Henry Cejudo does, and said that Tom Aspinall showed way too much emotion when he won an interim belt. Save it for the real one. Which DC and Bisping a little bit kind of clapped back, like, what are you talking about? Like, it's a belt, bro. They're putting gold around your waist. And so now the problem is it's gotten away from Aspinall because he's been smart. He's not even going to weigh in on it. But DC took offense. You know, Cejudo went back at him. And, you know, Henry being the king of cringe, which I disagree with. I think Chael Sonnen is the godfather. And Henry could learn a thing or two from Chael. Especially the way Chael lit fucking Masvidal up this week.
Yo!
Sit down.
10-8
Sit down.
Chael.
Yes,
10-8 Chael, bro. 10-8 Chael.
I loved his response, like, hey, look, if I see you out, I'm not looking for trouble, but do not try me, son.
Yeah, bro. Do
not
that's
try
smoke.
me.
That's smoke. I love it. I loved it. You know, I love Masvidal, but in this case, I thought, yeah, bro, you took that L. Go ahead and take that and sit down somewhere with it.
Yeah, I don't know where it came from. And the way Chael responded to go over the history, because he didn't understand. So he said, look, this is, and I watch, I'm like, what is Masvidal fucking on?
Crack.
I mean, he's got he misses fighting that bad. Like what, bro?
Just saying shit. That's all I got. Is this motherfucker just saying shit.
Here's the thing. I maybe there's a gag order because I was kind of shocked that Colby didn't jump right in it because that was a prime spot for Colby to jump right in there.
I don't think so. I don't think Colby ever is going to be in a position to make too much of a smart ass comment because at the end of the day, he's still got two-pieced. And right, you know what I'm saying, bro?
When's that stopped him before, though?
Yeah, but it's different. It's different in the ring. You know what I'm saying? In the ring, it's a little different. You got some structure. You've got rules. You've got blah, 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 blah. And, you know, some of it is just entertainment, right? But when you're in the street at the restaurant and you get two-pieced, bro, you really can't say shit back. I don't give a fuck about all that sucker punch shit. Because, you know, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready is the way it goes, right? So when you get two-piece like that, you should, whenever it comes to that person, I don't know.
I don't know. I thought Chael gave a master class.
Yeah, so plus I was gonna say it's not like you could say anything else. Chael put that shit like wrap it up and we out. Yeah, man. It's crazy. He's so good at it because he picks his spots. Yes.
Right? Like, and then the video after that was how he felt like The Rock and Rogan's podcast was fake as fuck. And he said, I've never seen two people more uncomfortable for a couple hours. And I didn't watch it yet, so I didn't want to judge it.
I didn't watch it either, yeah.
But I'm going to, because of what Chael said, I'm going to go watch it now to see if I see what he sees. I don't know. I got to watch it.
But I don't even care.
Wouldn't surprise me, right? You're going to tell me Rock don't know how to turn that on? Yeah. But the reason it interests me is because obviously Chael has some kind of inside knowledge. So if he's out here saying Rogan doesn't like The Rock, I don't think he's making it up. It's coming from somewhere. Now look,
hey, sometimes the shit Chael be saying is just so that people will pay him some attention. It's not even always. It's not always that he's really got insider information. Sometimes it's just information.
I don't know. We'll see. But look, getting back to it, what are your thoughts here on the interim title versus the quote unquote real title and what Henry's talking about here.
Man, first of all, I mean, obviously the interim title thing that UFC does is rooted within pro wrestling, right? And you know, with pro wrestling, it always built a level of excitement as the stories and storylines went on, whether the person was hurt, whether it was a fake hurt, you know, whatever. It built up the storyline, it built people's interest in it. I don't know if that shit's always necessary in the UFC, because in a lot of cases we get these interim titles and then, you know, the real champ goes and mops the floor with the interim as if they shouldn't have been there in the first place. The other problem I have is those interim championships always seem to negate the ranking system that the UFC uses also, because you very seldom see an interim title anymore that is, you know, maybe the 2 and the 3, or, you know, 3, 2 and 4 or something like that. Right. I mean, we got fucking interim titles for a motherfucking a 9th ranked guy who happens to fight the 3rd or the 4th or the 5th ranked guy, and that's bullshit. So I could do without it, but at the same time, I like the to kind of echo what DC's saying. I mean, it's still gold and it still counts. And it still puts a target on your back for that period of time. I think the bigger issue has been we've just been getting some lame ass interim titles lately. And we're not getting that guy that's like undeniable and he's basically chewing through everybody. So he boom takes the interim title, and then it becomes this massive fight against the, you know, the true champion or whatever for gold. Lately, it really just feels like, hey, we're just throwing this shit out here because another guy's hurt. Or, hey, we're just throwing this out here because we need something to sell this PPV. I don't know. And I know that's a very fence-sitting type of response, because I do see the value in all these interim titles. I do see the value to the game in the sense that we all kind of pay attention different to a PPV that has an interim title, or we pay a little closer attention to a PPV that's an interim versus a real, you know, the main champ. I think we all pay attention to it just because it's the best adjective. It's the best gold that you could throw on it. But I just think they need to do a better job of making sure that these interim titles are, you know, fighters who deserve it loosely and fighters who are going to make the next show pop.
What I remember that the interims kind of came around when there was a questionable timetable.
Yes.
And they would wait. You know,
yes.
Almost. I remember there being a wait of 6-7 months before a champ would
one
give
pay-per-view.
up that title.
Not right. One pay-per-view and an injury, and they'd be like, gotta get in.
Now when I think, and this is just speculation on my part, when they did the BMF belt the first time, and there was such an interest, and the pay-per-view numbers were through the fucking roof for a belt that at the end of the day didn't really fucking mean anything but a title. That, look, let's be honest, Nick Diaz was carrying around that title long before they made a belt for it, all right? Yeah, they basically made a belt. I personally think that was, you know, they handmade that for Nate. And then he didn't win it.
Then he got smacked up.
Then
right?
he forgot to win it.
And he gave the fight.
And he gave Jorge Masvidal another 20-30 minutes instead of 15, because Jorge rode that like a champ.
Yeah,
anyway, that's when I remember things kind of taking a turn where I think Dana and the UFC went, oh, wait a minute. Like, we had this, and they pivoted their thought on titles. They used to treat titles with such a respect and relevance, where in the wrestling tie-in, everyone was a heavyweight. Like, yeah, we Intercontinental. Right. And then it got little got the nuts in the nines are up. US television champion, hardcore and all right, come on.
Yeah. Because
it used to be 2 titles, folks. In the 80s, for us old guys, it was your world heavyweight champion, and then the guy they were grooming was the Intercontinental.
Intercontinental, yep.
So when Hogan was still running around, you know, the guy, you know, Macho Man had the Intercontinental. Ricky Steamboat had the Intercontinental. The Intercontinental was about, we don't know if he could be a main eventer, but he's worked his ass off for the company. So let's
see what happens. Right.
All right. You know, Shawn Michaels held the Intercontinental before he got to be the champ. Triple H, Stone Cold, The Rock, anybody who won the world title
who started off
until the Attitude Era, they held that. And then, you know, then we got out of control. The first one, which everybody loved, all right, was the $1 Million belt. Didn't mean shit. Ted DiBiase never lost it, remember. That was the funniest part of the whole gimmick is he'd fight for it, but he never lost the damn thing. So that was a good gimmick. Then, like I said, we got in it. So it got a little convoluted. Now, look, personally, I used to love the hardcore title because that was the only remnants ECW we had left.
That was badass. Yeah, it's totally badass.
Yeah, and the fact that Mankind pretty much had a title made after him was pretty cool. But anyway,
agreed.
UFC took that thought process and applied it, and then whoever was the badass kind of, so light heavyweight was a title to have for a very long time. Heavyweight was just kind of there's some big fat guys. Then Couture changed the perception on heavyweight when he won it. And then, you had Monster Brock, all those guys coming in. Then heavyweight shifted back to being the title to have.
Cain Velasquez.
Cain Velasquez. I'm missing guys. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I follow you. I always have to bring him up because dude's so overlooked.
Yeah, and he's had a rough go there. I'm glad he's where he's at now. And then then came the new era. We'll say UFC where you had the Iceman, all right, and Tito, and Ultimate Fighter 1 with Forrest and Stephan, and that's when those guys started, and then a little past that, I don't know, this original BMF named Young John Jones came in, became the youngest champion ever in UFC, and pretty much never gave the belt up until he decided he'd like to have a little more fun in life than worry about fighting. And that's fine. He's older now. We'll see. But that's the one thing I will get back, bringing us all the way around to the interim heavyweight belt. Okay. The thing this is the one I usually don't give a shit because in my mind, I'm still in the old school stuff. Like, look, John Jones still the champ. However, Dana wants to try to sell these other heavyweights to get some hype. I don't give a shit. And Tom Aspinall deserves a belt. They told him he's fighting for a belt. It's not the fighter's fault. All right. It's the UFC's fault. But in my mind, look, whenever Jones gets back, that's him and Stipe, and then we'll figure this out. But we knew Jones was going to be a 6 to 8 month deal, if not a little longer. You didn't need to do the interim belt here. You had a timetable.
Yep.
And I'm personally, Jamal Hill, fuck that. Hold on to your belt, bro. Yep. Make them take it away from you. It's not like you didn't earn it. There's I don't know about this honor thing about giving it up and then coming back.
Bullshit.
It's a cool story, but dude, hold on to that belt till they take it from you. Because I don't know. I saw Jamal Hill walking around. He looks like he's ready to fight Alex right now. Coming off that ACL. So, I don't know why you don't do it. Make them take it from you. And speaking of old school wrestling, they used to use that for storylines. Remember, Shawn Michaels got suspended and got the Intercontinental title stripped from him by Jack Tunney. Remember Jack Tunney, you old schoolers? The fake WWF president. And he ran around for like 3 months not giving it up. They kept trying to steal it from him. And then he got Diesel. You forget, Diesel was the bodyguard to protect the title because he wasn't giving it back. Again, UFC, hopefully now they're all one company. They could learn a couple things from Vinnie Mac. And Chael Sonnen has been waving that flag since day one. Come on. Walking around, never lost around. The OG. We all know he lost around. It's the gimmick. And Chael never let the gimmick go, even to today. And that's why the guy who shall not be named on this show should probably give him a call and learn a thing or two, but that's never going to happen. Anyway,
hold on.
It's a belt. Tom gets to display it in his house. I mean, his family sacrifice, but at the end of the day, kind of like what I touched on last week, it's not fair, but sometimes life is perception. It's not, right or wrong. And Aspinall will be judged by John Jones forever. And if Jones never comes back, if he doesn't fight Stipe, it's going to suck, for Aspinall's legacy as a heavyweight, as an interim champ, whatever. So, and there's nothing he could do about it. But I will say in closing, I like how he gave Cyril Gane the fucking brush off. Like, bro, I came to France to try to get this fight before I had a belt. Now I got a belt and suddenly you call. Yeah, you need to go fight the Brazilian dude.
That dude's goofy.
Loved it.
That dude's goofy.
Yep.
That's funny.
Aspinall's taking advantage. I'll say that. They can argue about whether interim belt or not. He's doing what he needs to do, man. He's getting his face out there and he's talking a lot. So UFC should be ecstatic. I think they have a very marketable guy that they can do now.
I like, I know I say it. I like Tom. I think he's a hell of a fighter. I think that's one of the reasons why I think it's really dope that he is the interim, because I mean, there's a period of time where John Jones isn't going to say a whole lot, isn't going to do a whole lot. So having someone around who will is always a good thing.
Yeah, and look, let's face it. They can argue about greatest pound for pound and all that stuff. It's a known fact that John is not the greatest seller of pay-per-views. All right, the numbers have never been great. So if they always try to build somebody up. Now look, the Stipe one sells itself, but if he fights again, Aspinall is going to sell some pay-per-views, ladies and gentlemen. Just keep that in the back of your head. So anyway, let's wrap this bad boy up.
Yes, sir. Let's get out of here.
Nice and lean. We'll see you next week. I don't know what the hell we're talking about, but we'll figure it out. Until then, peace out.